Welcome to Dallas Grown Greenhouse, a hydroponic demonstration greenhouse in Dallas, Texas, sponsored by Hort Americas. Today we're going to go over some tips for germinating and irrigating the closed bottom organic plug, or CBOP. We have both the 32 millimeter and the 25 millimeter plug here today. First, I added them to a tray, and there are specific trays for each size. Then I'm going to hydrate them. It's best to hydrate the plugs through bottom irrigation. And I like to hydrate the plugs with a nutrient solution. I'm using Hort Americas Organic Hydroponic Fertilizer to hydrate these plugs so the seedlings will immediately have access to nutrients. After the plugs are hydrated, you want to seed them. I've grown a wide variety of leafy greens and flowering crops in these plugs, and certain seeds do work better than others. A lot of times the brassicas like kales and bok choys, they'll do wonderful in these. Raw seed generally performs better than pelleted seed, so raw lettuce seed over a pelleted seed I would generally say is preferable. If you're struggling to get good germination rates on a specific variety, it might be helpful to top with vermiculite. After hydrating the plugs, seeding the plugs, and then the optional topping of vermiculite, you want to add a humidity dome. This will help improve your germination rates a lot. If you don't have a humidity dome, then perhaps putting it into a germination room that has high humidity and temperatures that are in the ideal range for your specific seeds. One of the most important factors to growing in the CBOP successfully is proper irrigation. After the initial hydration and then putting on the humidity domes, you often don't need to water the plug for about 3 days or until you have full germination. So what I'll do is I'll seed them, water them, then I put on the humidity dome, and I won't touch these for about 3 days. After 3 days, you'll have pretty good establishment. You'll have some germination, and at that point you can remove the humidity dome. These ones are about a week old, so they'll be a little bit smaller than this, but you'll see they've all popped from the seed. At that point you can remove the humidity dome, and then your irrigation frequency might increase to about once every 2 days, at most once a day. You'll maintain that irrigation frequency for about a week, and then maybe move up to twice a day. The plug holds a lot of water, and it's going to perform best if it's allowed to dry out in between irrigation cycles. The goal is to let them dry out so the roots are driven towards the bottom. Once you have a good root establishment at the bottom of your plug, then you can transplant your plug into the final system, which could be an NFT system, a tower system, a ebb and flood system like this. It could be a coco block like these starter blocks, or you could actually just grow them out in the tray. If you space your plugs, you could actually grow your crop out in the tray. The CBOP is a great plug, but there are some tricks to doing it well, or to growing in it well and successfully. And one of the hardest parts for growers transitioning from a traditional hydroponic plug to this plug is reducing your irrigation cycle frequency. Cut back on the irrigation and you'll see you'll have a lot more success. That's the CBOP.